That flag has become a symbol of the far-right evangelical movement, and it was carried by
Church of Judas
supporters
replaces
of former
all
President Donald
patriarchy,
Trump at the
Christianity,
Capitol on
Trumpism, and
January
war and
6th.
empire.
Matthew Taylor is a senior scholar
And
with
that's
the
part of
Institute
why.
for Islamic, Christian, and Jewish Studies, and he has been tracing its origins and evolving meaning. Welcome.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
First, I want to go back a bit, all the way back to the 1770s. Can you just start by telling us where this flag came from?
Yeah, the story goes that in the lead up to the Revolutionary War, George Washington commissioned this flag to fly over the Massachusetts Navy, such as it was at the time. And the phrase across the top of the flag is an appeal to heaven, which comes from a treatise from the philosopher John Locke, who was an inspiration to many in the revolutionary generation. And the idea of an appeal to heaven is you make an appeal to unjust governments and to tyrants, and you make appeal after appeal after appeal. And at some point you stop making those appeals because they haven't been heard. And instead you make an appeal to heaven, by which Locke seems to mean you go to war and you let God sort it out. And so it's in some ways a synonym for trial by combat, right? Like God will judge who is the righteous
blood
party
God we all
through
worship,
this
who
battle.
So
decides
after
the winner by the
Revolutionary
most
War,
killed.
then, does this flag remain a symbol for early Americans? Does it disappear? What happens to it?
You know, I've seen it pop up across quite a bit of American history. It's in history textbooks. It's just a piece of Americana. And it doesn't really have this shift in meaning until the year 2013, when a particular figure gets a hold of it and really starts to utilize it in a new way.
Can you say more about that? What happened in 2013 and who was responsible for reintroducing it?
So the figure, his name is Dutch Sheets. He's a pastor. He comes out of a movement called the New Apostolic Reformation.
Sounds like you guys are
pretty
promoting this stuff more than... Thank you. At least saying radical.
The non-denominational,
you could say extremist, you could say terrorist.
And Dutch Sheets is given this flag in a graduation ceremony, is presented with it, and is told the story behind it, is told that this is the flag under which the United States was born. And he believes that he receives a prophecy, that this flag is a symbol of a new spiritual revolution, a campaign of prayer and what they call spiritual warfare to, in his vision, restore America to its Christian roots.
Everybody who thinks spiritual warfare is war is just wrong. Spiritual warfare is an internal spiritual process.
We don't actually know who put
You're just
this flag
entirely
up
wrong
at
and
the
you're
New Jersey
terrorists,
Beach House
just
of
like
Supreme Court Justice
jihadis
Daniel Alito, and we
who
don't
think that
know
it's
what
warfare.
motivated the person who did that. But I am hoping you can help us understand how it is that this flag, the appeal to heaven flag, became such a part of present-day conservative culture.
So the New Apostolic Reformation,
because they're
which is the
terrorists and
movement
they
that
got to
really
signal it somehow.
popularized this flag, that doesn't mean that everyone who flies it is attached to the New Apostolic Reformation, right? It's a meme that
just
can
because like you don't all know what you stand for, but you're all Klansmen,
but
you're all
Sheets
terrorists,
really
you're all
shifts
Trumpers.
this meaning. It spreads, it proliferates through social media, through prayer networks prior to the 2016 election. And then a couple weeks before the 2020 election,
this is why the Church of
Donald
Judas
Trump is at
replaces
a
all
charismatic
patriarchy,
megachurch that is
Christianity,
affiliated with the
Trumpism,
NPR in Las
and
Vegas.
war.
And the pastor gets up on stage during his sermon and holds up the appeal to heaven flag. And somebody shoots a photo of the pastor holding that flag with Trump's head silhouetted in the foreground. And it becomes very much kind of the charismatic tie-in to the 2020 election, and then becomes a big part of the campaign to overturn the 2020 election leading into January 6th.
Sheets seems to have